Is the air you're breathing truly yours? Or is it a second-hand mixture recycled from the stale aspirations of everyone else around you? We live in an age of unprecedented access to information, to opportunity, to instant gratification. But with all this access, we've become masters of imitation, a generation of echoes. We chase the shadows of other people's success, mistaking their highlight reels for our own potential. We scroll through a curated feed of flawless lives and tell ourselves, I want that. We want the corner office, the exotic vacation, the effortless confidence. But what we're really doing is wanting the result without wanting the process. We admire the polished diamond, but we shrink from the pressure and the grit it took to forge it. We see the final chapter of a legend and forget the countless blank pages, the crumpled drafts, and the ink-stained fingers. Consider the story of a young man from a log cabin in Kentucky. He didn't have a blueprint for greatness. He had a deep, unyielding desire. He had a burning obsession with a vision that was bigger than his circumstances. His name was Abraham Lincoln. He failed at business. He lost elections. He battled depression. The world saw a string of losses, but he saw a series of lessons. Each setback was not a defeat. It was a chisel, carving away what wasn't essential, shaping him for the monumental task that lay ahead. He was committed, not just to an idea, but to the very fiber of his being, to the promise he made to himself. He understood that commitment isn't a casual affair. It isn't a fleeting interest. It's an irreversible declaration. It's burning the boats on the shore behind you so there's no path back to comfort, to mediocrity, to who you used to be. We live in a world that sells us the illusion of easy, the get-rich-quick schemes, the overnight success stories, the hacks and shortcuts. This is the great deception. There is no shortcut to the summit of your potential. The path is paved with the unglamorous, the difficult, the relentless. It's forged in the quiet hours of the morning while the rest of the world sleeps. It's built in the moments of self-doubt, when the easy choice whispers its siren song. True commitment is the iron will that says no to the thousand distractions that beg for your attention, and yes to the one thing that truly matters. This journey begins not with a grand gesture, but with a fundamental shift in your internal world, your mindset. Your mind is not a passive spectator. It's the architect of your reality. For too long, we've allowed our minds to become a junkyard of other people's opinions and fears. We've inherited the limitations of our parents, the insecurities of our peers, the skepticism of a world that loves to tell you why you can't. You must perform a radical internal audit. You must become a ruthless editor of your own thoughts. Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold is either a building block or a shackle. Are you a victim of circumstance or the master of your destiny? The answer is not in the stars, but in the story you tell yourself every single day. Henry Ford didn't invent the automobile. He perfected its production. He was told it couldn't be done, that his assembly line was a fool's errand. He didn't listen to the doubters. He listened to the hum of the engine in his mind, the rhythm of a future he was creating. His vision was so vivid, his belief so absolute, that it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. This isn't magic. It's the law of concentrated thought. What you focus on, you empower. What you ignore, you starve. The human mind is the most powerful engine on the planet, capable of creating miracles or conjuring prisons. What are you building with yours? Your mindset is the soil, but without a seed, nothing will grow. That seed is belief, not a passive wish, but a deep, unshakable conviction. The world will test your belief at every turn. It will offer you reasons to quit, to compromise, to settle for less. It will whisper that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. This is the crucible. This is where you find out who you truly are. Belief is not a luxury. It is the fuel for every great human achievement. The Wright brothers believed they could fly when the world mocked them. Thomas Edison believed in the electric light bulb through thousands of failed experiments. He wasn't failing. He was eliminating ways that didn't work. His belief was his compass, his resilience, his unwavering North Star. Most people want success, but they don't believe in their ability to achieve it. They operate with a subconscious ceiling. They've decided what's possible for them and what isn't, and they unconsciously sabotage anything that threatens to break that ceiling. You must shatter this self-imposed prison. You must write a new narrative. You must declare to the universe, to yourself, and to every cell in your body that you are worthy of your greatest aspirations. This isn't about arrogance. It's about owning your potential. It's about the quiet, knowing confidence that you were born with a purpose and you are destined to fulfill it. From this place of unshakable belief, you find clarity. This is the difference between a dreamer and a doer. The dreamer has a vague desire. I want to be successful. The doer has a surgical focus. I will build a company that solves this specific problem for this specific person by this specific date. Clarity is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the lighthouse that guides your ship through the stormy seas of distraction and indecisions. Without it, you are adrift at the mercy of every current and every passing whim. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. To achieve this clarity, you must be brutally honest with yourself. You must ask the difficult questions and be willing to hear the uncomfortable answers. What do you truly want? Not what your parents want for you. Not what society expects of you. What sets your soul on fire? What problem are you uniquely equipped to solve? What is the one thing you would pursue even if you knew you would fail? The answers to these questions are the foundation of your legacy. They are the blueprints for a life of meaning, not just a life of comfort. Once you have clarity, you can forge your vision. A vision is not a simple goal. It is a living, breathing picture of your future. It's a mental movie playing in your mind's eye with crystal clarity. Walt Disney didn't just want to build a theme park. He saw a place where families could escape into a world of magic. He saw the castle, the rides, the characters. He felt the joy and heard the laughter. His vision was so powerful that it compelled him forward. Even when the banks turned him down, even when the world told him it was impossible, he knew what he was building because he had already seen it. Your vision is your ultimate destination. It is the point on the horizon you are moving toward. It must be so compelling, so emotionally resonant, that it pulls you out of bed in the morning and fuels you through the long nights. It must be bigger than you, something that will leave a dent in the universe. This isn't about ego. It's about legacy. It's about creating something that will outlive you, something that will serve and inspire others long after you're gone. But a vision without purpose is a house without a foundation. Your purpose is the why. Why are you doing this? Why is this important? The what can be stolen, copied, or destroyed. The why is inviolable. It is the bedrock of your commitment, the source of your resilience. Your purpose is what gives your work meaning. It is what connects your personal ambition to a greater cause. For Elon Musk, the purpose is not just to build rockets. It is to make humanity a multiplanetary species. The what is SpaceX. The why is the survival and expansion of the human race. Your purpose is your anchor. When the winds of doubt begin to howl, when the waves of failure crash against your ship, your purpose is what holds you in place. It's the quiet, certain voice that reminds you what you are fighting for. Without a strong why, the what will crumble under pressure. Without a purpose, your pursuit of success is nothing more than a hollow chase for external validation. You must dig deep beyond the desire for money or fame and find the true motivation that burns within you. Now we move from the internal to the external, from the mind to the world of tangible results. This requires discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. It is the unsexy, monotonous, day in and day out work that no one sees. It's the early morning workouts, the late night study sessions, the sacrifices you make when no one is watching. Discipline is the price of admission to a life of greatness. Most people are willing to do what's easy. Greatness belongs to those who are willing to do what's hard, what's uncomfortable, what's necessary. Discipline is not about being a robot. It's about being a master of yourself. It's about exercising the muscle of self-control. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. The modern world is a monument to distraction. Our phones, our notifications, our endless streams of content, they are all designed to steal our focus and dissipate our energy. Discipline is the shield you hold against this constant assault. It is the fortress you build around your most important priorities. It is the quiet resolve that says, I will not be derailed. And discipline, by its very nature, demands action. Not just any action, but massive, intelligent, and persistent action. The world is full of brilliant ideas that never saw the light of day because they were not backed by relentless execution. The chasm between an idea and a reality is bridged by doing. We tend to overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. The secret is not to make a perfect leap, but to take a single, imperfect step, and then another, and then another. The accumulation of these small, consistent actions is what builds empires, writes symphonies, and changes the world. Think of the compounding effect. A 1% improvement every day doesn't sound like much, but over a year, that's a 37-fold improvement. This is the power of consistent, disciplined action. It's not about the flash. It's about the grind. It's not about the one big moment. It's about the million small choices that lead to that moment. Your journey to greatness will not be a straight line. It will be a messy, winding road filled with setbacks and failures. The only way to navigate it is to keep moving forward, to take action, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. As you take action, you must also cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is not a passive feeling of thankfulness. It is an active state of mind that transforms your perception. It is the ability to see the good, even in the midst of adversity. It's the understanding that every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, every day a gift. Gratitude is the antidote to scarcity and the foundation of abundance. When you operate from a place of gratitude, you are not focused on what you lack, but on what you have. This shifts your energy from a state of wanting to a state of receiving. The most successful people in history understood this. They were not naive optimists. They were realists who chose to focus on the good. They understood that the universe responds to the energy you put out. If you are constantly complaining, you will find more things to complain about. If you are constantly grateful, you will find more things to be grateful for. Gratitude is the magnet that attracts more success, more opportunity, and more joy into your life. It is the secret force that amplifies all of your other efforts. But the world is an ever-changing landscape, and to succeed, you must embrace adaptability. The world is not static. It is in constant motion. What worked yesterday may not work today. The great legends from Carnegie to Rockefeller to Gates were not just brilliant, they were relentlessly adaptable. They saw the changes coming and pivoted. They were not so married to their original ideas that they couldn't see a better way. They understood that the strongest species is not the most intelligent or the most powerful, but the one that is most responsive to change. Adaptability is the ability to learn and unlearn. It's the willingness to let go of old beliefs and old methods when they no longer serve you. It is a form of intellectual humility, the understanding that you don't have all the answers and that you must always be a student. In a world of exponential change, the only constant is the need to evolve. If you are not growing, you are dying. If you are not learning, you are becoming obsolete. And with adaptability comes resilience. The journey to greatness is not a smooth ride. It is a crucible of challenges, a relentless test of your character. You will fail. You will be rejected. You will fall. Resilience is not the absence of failure. It is the ability to get back up after you've been knocked down, to learn from the fall, and to come back stronger than you were before. The scar tissue of past failures is not a sign of weakness. It is a badge of honor. It is a testament to your grit, your determination, your refusal to quit. Winston Churchill was a master of resilience. He faced devastating losses early in his career, but he never gave up. He became prime minister during the darkest days of World War II, when England stood alone against the forces of tyranny. His message was simple: never, ever, ever give up. His resilience was not just a personal trait. It was a rallying cry that inspired a nation. Your resilience is a testament to your commitment. It is the proof that you are willing to fight for your dreams, no matter the cost. But you cannot be resilient without learning. The journey of a champion is a journey of continuous education. Every experience, every conversation, every book, every podcast, it is all a potential lesson. The greatest leaders are the greatest students. They are insatiably curious, constantly seeking new knowledge, new perspectives, new skills. They understand that their growth is not a destination, but a process. Learning is not just about accumulating facts. It is about developing wisdom. It is about understanding the principles that govern success and failure and applying them to your own life. It's about building a mental library of strategies and tactics that you can draw upon in any situation. This is the difference between working hard and working smart. The person who works hard with a closed mind is doomed to repeat the same mistakes. The person who works smart with an open mind is constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly moving closer to their ultimate potential. And so we arrive at the question that started it all. Are you truly committed to your dreams? Are you a student of success, a master of your mindset, a beacon of belief? Are you forged in the fires of discipline and powered by the relentless engine of action? Do you see the world not as a series of obstacles, but as a classroom filled with lessons? The path to greatness is not a crowded one. It is a lonely road, walked by those who have dared to stand apart, to think for themselves, to challenge the status quo. It is a road paved with sacrifice, with grit, with the unwavering belief that you are capable of more. Your greatness is not something you will stumble upon by accident. It is something you must intentionally, relentlessly, and unapologetically build. The world is waiting for your genius, not the polished, perfect version of it, but the raw, unadulterated, imperfect pursuit of your potential. Your time is now. The clock is ticking. Your dreams are not just wishes. They are a sacred contract with yourself. It is time to honor that contract. It is time to burn the boats. It is time to commit. It is time to ask yourself, are you truly committed to your dreams? Because commitment isn't a passive state. It is an active declaration. It's not just about a vague desire for a better life. It is the unwavering, non-negotiable decision to build that life brick by brick, moment by moment, regardless of the cost. It is the quiet resolve of the architect who sees the finished skyscraper in their mind's eye long before the first shovel breaks ground. It is the relentless pursuit of the artist who sees a masterpiece in a block of marble, a masterpiece that only they can reveal. This isn't a pep talk. This is a call to arms, a summons to awaken the dormant titan within you, a challenge to stop living a life of quiet desperation and to start building a life of profound significance. Most people live a life of reaction. They react to their circumstances, to the opinions of others, to the latest trends. They are human weather vanes, spinning in whatever direction the prevailing wind blows. They wait for permission. They wait for a sign. They wait for the perfect moment. But greatness doesn't wait for permission. It demands action. The world rewards those who act, not those who merely wish. The world is built by the people who say, I will, not the people who say, I wish I could. Consider the story of a young man named Andrew Carnegie. He came to America with nothing but the clothes on his back and a burning desire to succeed. He didn't have a formal education, but he had an insatiable hunger for knowledge and an unyielding work ethic. He started as a bobbin boy in a textile mill, earning a pittance. But he didn't see a dead-end job. He saw a classroom. He saw an opportunity to learn, to observe, to understand how the world worked. He was a student of every moment, every conversation, every failure. He was relentlessly proactive. He didn't wait for opportunities to find him. He created them. He became a telegraph messenger boy, not just to deliver messages, but to learn the inner workings of the business world. He learned to read the messages by ear, a skill that earned him a promotion and put him on the fast track. He didn't just see a job, he saw a ladder. This is the essence of true commitment, the ability to find opportunity in the mundane, to see the potential where others only see the present. Carnegie didn't just work hard, he worked smart. He surrounded himself with brilliant people. He was a master of the mastermind principle, the idea that two or more minds working in harmony toward a common goal can achieve far more than any single mind alone. He wasn't afraid to hire people who were smarter than him. He understood that true leadership is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about building a room full of the smartest people. He empowered his team, he gave them ownership, and he built a steel empire that transformed America. His success wasn't an accident. It was the result of a meticulously crafted plan, a relentless work ethic, and an unwavering belief in the power of a committed team. This leads us to a crucial, often overlooked component of success: surroundings. Your environment is either a launch pad or an anchor. The people you spend the most time with, the books you read, the content you consume, these are the forces that are shaping your reality, often without your conscious awareness. Are you surrounded by people who are building, creating, and striving? Or are you surrounded by critics, cynics, and comfort seekers? The company you keep is a direct reflection of the commitment you hold. If you are truly committed to your dreams, you will naturally gravitate toward those who are on a similar journey. You will seek out mentors, collaborators, and friends who challenge you to be better, who hold you to a higher standard, who celebrate your victories and lift you up in your defeats. Your environment also includes the physical space you inhabit. Is your space organized and inspiring, or cluttered and chaotic? A cluttered space often reflects a cluttered mind. Your physical environment is a silent but powerful indicator of your internal state. By taking control of your surroundings, you are sending a powerful message to yourself and to the universe. I am ready for order. I am ready for focus. I am ready for success. This isn't about perfection. It's about intentionality. It's about creating a space that supports your vision, not one that detracts from it. But the most important environment you must master is your internal environment. This is where your true power lies. Your inner world is a garden. You are the gardener. You can either plant seeds of possibility and growth, or you can allow weeds of doubt and fear to choke out your potential. This requires a level of self-awareness that most people never achieve. It requires you to sit with your thoughts, to observe them without judgment, and to choose which ones to water and which ones to uproot. This is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It is the practice of mindfulness, of being present, of being intentional with your thoughts and emotions. Mindfulness isn't about being passive. It's about being actively engaged with your own mind. It's the ability to pause between stimulus and response. The world will throw 1,000 curveballs at you. A rude email, a difficult client, an unexpected setback. The average person reacts instantly with anger, with frustration, with despair. The committed person, the mindful person, pauses. They take a breath. They observe the emotion without becoming it. And then They choose a response that serves their long-term vision, not their short-term emotion. This is the superpower of the modern age, the ability to remain calm, focused, and centered in a world that is constantly trying to pull you in a million different directions. This practice of internal mastery is what leads to emotional intelligence. The ability to understand and manage your own emotions and to recognize and influence the emotions of others. This is a skill that is far more valuable than a high IQ. A person with a high IQ and low emotional intelligence can be brilliant but self-sabotaging, unable to handle stress, and prone to explosive reactions. A person with a moderate IQ and high emotional intelligence can navigate the complexities of human relationships, build strong teams, and lead with empathy and conviction. Emotional intelligence is the master key to unlocking your full potential. It is the foundation of effective communication, powerful leadership, and lasting relationships. And the pursuit of emotional intelligence requires a commitment to self-awareness, to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your triggers, your patterns, to understand why you react the way you do, and to consciously choose a different path. This requires a level of humility, the willingness to admit that you don't have all the answers, that you are a work in progress. It is the courage to look at yourself, flaws and all, and to say, I am committed to becoming a better version of myself every single day. This journey of self-improvement is not for the faint of heart. It is a relentless, often lonely pursuit, but it is also the most rewarding journey you will ever embark on. Because the greatest victory you will ever achieve is not over an external enemy, but over your own internal limitations. It is the victory of a committed mind over a complacent one. It is the triumph of your highest self over your lower self. The ultimate expression of your commitment is your integrity. Integrity isn't just about being honest with others. It is about being honest with yourself. It is about keeping the promises you make to yourself. When you say you are going to wake up early, do you? When you say you are going to work on your dream, do you? Every time you break a promise to yourself, you are eroding your own self-trust. Every time you keep a promise, you are building a monument to your own potential. Integrity is the bedrock of self-respect. Without it, your confidence is a house of cards, built on a foundation of broken promises and unfulfilled potential. Your integrity is your compass. It is the internal guidance system that tells you when you are on track and when you are off course. It is the quiet knowing that you are living in alignment with your highest values, your deepest beliefs, and your most profound purpose. This is not something you can fake. This is something you must earn, one small, intentional choice at a time. It is the culmination of every decision you've ever made, every thought you've ever entertained, every promise you've ever kept. The journey of commitment is a journey from dreaming to doing, from wishing to winning, from potential to reality. It is a journey that begins with a single irreversible decision to stop living a life of reaction and to start living a life of intention. The world is full of people who talk about their dreams. It is a rare and powerful thing to be a person who builds them. The choice is yours. The time is now. Are you ready to stop talking about your dreams and start building them? And yet, we find ourselves at a crossroads, a place where the road of good intentions meets the highway of daily distractions. It is here, in the quiet moments between the grand declarations, that your true character is forged. The world loves a good story of triumph, but it is the unglamorous, often invisible work that writes that story. The discipline to say no to a night of mindless scrolling and yes to a chapter in a book that will expand your mind. The courage to face an uncomfortable conversation instead of letting it fester. The commitment to a daily routine, even when the spark of initial motivation has long since faded. This is not the stuff of highlight reels, but it is the bedrock of a life well lived. This is the power of habit. Your habits are the invisible architects of your future. They are the small, seemingly insignificant choices that, when compounded over time, create an unstoppable force. The difference between who you are now and who you will become is not a sudden dramatic event. It is the sum total of your daily habits. Are your habits serving your dreams, or are they serving your fears? Are they building momentum toward your goals, or are they a slow, insidious drain on your energy and potential? Think of a river. It doesn't become a powerful, life-giving force by a single, massive surge of water. It becomes a river by the constant, relentless flow of countless individual drops. Each drop, on its own, is insignificant, but together, they have the power to carve canyons and change landscapes. Your habits are those drops. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading 10 pages a day, spending 15 minutes in quiet reflection. These are the small, consistent actions that will inevitably carve out the masterpiece of your life. The person who practices a skill for an hour a day will, in a year, have put in 365 hours of practice. That is how mastery is built. Not in a single heroic effort, but in the relentless, methodical march of daily habit. But habits are not enough without a deeper, more fundamental understanding of a principle that Napoleon Hill illuminated: the power of the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the captain of the ship, giving commands. But your subconscious mind is the crew, silently working below deck, bringing those commands to life. It is a powerful, non-discriminatory servant. It doesn't care if your thoughts are positive or negative. It simply acts on them. If you constantly feed it thoughts of failure, it will find ways to manifest failure. If you consistently feed it thoughts of success, it will work tirelessly to bring success into your reality. The key to harnessing this power is through affirmations and visualization. An affirmation is not a wish, it is a declaration. It is a powerful present tense statement that affirms the reality you are creating. I am a powerful force for good. I am financially free. I am a world-class leader. By repeating these declarations, you are programming your subconscious mind to align with your highest potential. You are rewriting the old limiting stories you've told yourself. This is not magic, it is psychology. It is the deliberate act of rewiring your brain to believe in the possibilities you are committed to creating. Visualization takes this a step further. It is the act of seeing your vision in your mind's eye with such clarity and emotional intensity that it feels real. This is not daydreaming, this is mental rehearsal. It is the process of building the blueprint of your future in your mind before you build it in the physical world. Think of an Olympic athlete who visualizes their perfect race thousands of times before they ever step onto the track. They are not just imagining, they are training. They are building new neural pathways in their brain so that when the moment arrives, their body knows exactly what to do. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. By visualizing your success, you are creating a mental reality that your subconscious mind will work tirelessly to manifest. This requires a level of faith. Not a blind faith in some external force, but a profound faith in yourself. A faith that you were born with a unique genius, a unique purpose, and the capacity to bring it into the world. This faith is not a flimsy hope. It is a deep-seated conviction that you will find a way no matter what obstacles appear. It is the knowing that you have everything you need within you to overcome any challenge, to learn any skill, to build any dream. But faith without action is dead. The universe does not reward wishes, it rewards work. It is here that we must confront the final and most brutal truth of this journey. You are going to face resistance. The moment you decide to commit to a bigger life, the world will conspire to pull you back into the comfort of mediocrity. Your friends may question your ambition. Your family may express their fears. Your own internal voice of self-doubt will scream louder than ever. This is the test. This is the moment when you find out if your commitment is real or if it was just a fleeting fancy. This resistance is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a sign that you are on the right one. It is the universe's way of saying, prove it. You must embrace this resistance. You must lean into it. You must understand that every challenge, every setback, every criticism is not an obstacle to be avoided, but a tool to be used, a tool to sharpen your resolve, to clarify your vision, to strengthen your will. The most precious diamonds are not found on the surface. They are found deep beneath the earth, forged under immense pressure and heat. Your greatness is no different. The path to your dreams is not paved with ease. It is paved with courage. The courage to be different. The courage to stand alone. The courage to fail and get back up. The courage to say no to 1,000 good things so you can say yes to the one great thing. This is the courage of the pioneer, the artist, the entrepreneur. The courage of Walt Disney, who was fired from a newspaper for not being creative enough. The courage of Oprah Winfrey, who was told she was unfit for television news. The courage of Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he founded. These were not moments of defeat. They were moments of truth. Moments where their commitment was tested and their courage was revealed. And in the end, it all comes down to a single question. Are you willing to pay the price? The price of discipline, of sacrifice, of relentless effort. The price of facing your fears, of confronting your doubts, of overcoming your limitations. This is not a price you can pay in a single day. It is a price you must pay every day. It is a price you must pay with your time, your energy, and your unwavering focus. But the reward is immeasurable. The reward is a life of meaning, a life of purpose, a life of profound significance. Your potential is not a fantasy. It is a reality waiting to be unleashed. Your dreams are not just a possibility. They are a calling. It is time to answer that call, to rise above the noise, to silence the doubts, and to commit fully and completely to the magnificent future you were born to create. The world is not waiting for your permission. It is waiting for your action. It is time to commit to your dreams, not with words, but with your life. This journey, from where you are now to where you are destined to be, is not a simple linear progression. It is a spiral, a series of cycles. You will have moments of soaring triumph and moments of profound doubt. You will take 2 steps forward and at times 1 step back. But the key is to understand that even the steps back are part of the forward momentum. They are moments of reassessment, of learning, of recalibration. They are not failures. They are feedback. The most potent tool you have on this winding path is your imagination. Napoleon Hill called it the workshop of the mind. Your imagination is not a passive faculty for daydreaming. It is a powerful creative force. Everything ever created by humanity, from the pyramids to the smartphone, first existed in the imagination of a single person or a group of people. Your mind has the capacity to construct a detailed blueprint of your future, a blueprint so vivid and compelling that it begins to pull you toward it. The world we see is a mirror of the world we create in our minds. But your imagination, like any powerful tool, must be guided by reason and fueled by desire. A wild, undirected imagination is a liability, a source of worry and fear. A focused imagination, directed by a clear purpose and a burning desire, is an unstoppable engine of creation. You must learn to harness this power, to consciously choose what you allow to occupy the sacred space of your mind. You must become a ruthless gatekeeper, allowing only those thoughts and images that serve your highest vision. This brings us to the ultimate question of power. Not the power to dominate others, but the power to master yourself, the power to choose your thoughts, the power to control your emotions, the power to direct your actions. This is the true power, the kind of power that built empires, created masterpieces, and changed the course of history. This is the power that resides within you, dormant, waiting to be awakened by a single, unwavering decision, the decision to commit. And what does this commitment look like in its purest, most powerful form? It looks like service. The greatest fortunes, the most enduring legacies are built on the foundation of serving others. Andrew Carnegie didn't just build a steel empire, he built a fortune that he used to build libraries and schools. Henry Ford didn't just build cars. He created a system that made transportation accessible to the masses. Steve Jobs didn't just build computers, he built tools that empowered millions to create and connect. Their genius was not in what they took from the world, but in what they gave to it. Your commitment to your dreams is ultimately a commitment to serving others, to finding a problem that you are uniquely qualified to solve, and solving it with passion, with excellence, and with integrity. When your personal ambition is aligned with a higher purpose of serving humanity, you tap into a source of energy that is infinite and inexhaustible. This is the law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you serve, the more you are rewarded. Your legacy will not be measured by the size of your bank account, but by the size of the dent you leave in the universe. It will be measured by the number of lives you've touched, the problems you've solved, the hope you've inspired. This is the ultimate prize, the ultimate victory. This is the true meaning of a life of commitment. So stand at this precipice. Look back at the life you've lived and look forward to the life you were born to create. The choice is yours. The canvas is blank. The tools are in your hands. The time for waiting is over. The time for wishing is past. It is time to make an irrevocable, soul-deep declaration. It is time to commit to your dreams. Not for a day, not for a year, but for the rest of your life. It is time to become the master of your own destiny. And in that commitment, you will find not only success, but a life of meaning, a life of profound joy, and a life that truly matters. Now, go and build it